What is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with another gold balance overview of my account. In addition, we are going to be opening up some orbs that we've saved up, but I want to go through some quick tips and tricks in regards to saving gold. As we know, with all the game modes that are happening, all the new different teams, this is a really heavily constrained resource in the game, but effective management is going to be the utmost importance, guys. So first and foremost, I think the biggest one to really understand is your gold needs, right? At the end of the day, if you have 30 million gold like myself, you know, it's strategic and, you know, wise not to spend it all in one day. It makes sense to take advantage of, you know, the milestones like the golden opportunity. Maybe you should only be spending, you know, 2 to 3 million per day. I found that personally, that's how I've been able to maintain my gold balance. Typically, I know some content creators have done videos in regards to how much gold do we actually earn per month, and it's around that 80 to 90 million mark, right? So when you divide that by the 31 days, it is around that 2.5 to 2.7 million range, which is kind of what's sustainable. So something to keep in the back of your mind. If that's a threshold you can spend per day, that's a threshold that we should be utilizing when you're going through, you know, for instance, the supply store. And, you know, where I'm preparing for Dark Dimension 6 sections, so I'm constantly looking through the store and buying, you know, these G18 materials that do cost a bit, but as well, I'm managing that as a budget, so that way I am within that 80 to 90 million budget per month, and it is allowing me to be able to sustain the balance. Having said that, there are obviously ways to add uptick to the gold, and most recently, updates to the hard chapters of the campaign is where you can do that. So, I mean, I think the biggest one, and personally, I really like this addition, especially with the newer chapters, is that they're adding newer characters like, you know, Titania, as well as obviously having Union Jack here, both being in the meta, but the fact that they're also adding these fragments here as well, right? So I am farming this every day. You know, especially when you have campaign energy refreshes, we're getting, as you can see here, you know, gold fragments every time you farm them. So all chapters of the Nexus Hard does have that, right? We have gold here, the very end of chapter 3, there's training orbs. Then it's back to gold here with Dark Beast, and then back to training orb here with Absorbing Man. So I think those are really, really good advantages to take advantage for sure every day when you're going through the campaign and you're needing to use that. That's big, especially if you don't need to farm for certain character shards. The Heroes Hard Chapter, this is a big one too, because this is where 3 more nodes are congregated that you can farm for gold. So obviously here the Morbius one does have gold fragments, so this is not used yet, so I'll be farming that later today. I believe we do see it as well in chapter 5 here for Echo's Shards right there. And then lastly, Anti-Venom in chapter 4 here. So all this does add up from a day-to-day routine. It's going to give you more gold fragments. That way you are getting more orbs per day as well over time, and that's going to matter if you're doing this day in, day out, over 30 days. That's all going to add up to the shards and the orbs that you can open to add that uptick into your account. But as well, you know, obvious things, right? Making sure that you guys are going through the daily objectives. You know, we get gold naturally just from completing the dailies and so forth. Like, as you can see, completing all the campaign energy for campaign, we're gonna get extra 20k there, 25k for the ISO 8, so things like this, 25k for raids. All this is gonna add up over time when you're doing these completions and making sure that you are consistent, because that is how you essentially create that sustainability for the gold balance. And then as well, Gold Rush. This is a really, really big one. I love this one because it does come back, you know, I believe 3 times a week, and you can farm this 3 times each time it's live. And as you can see, it's going to be like around 660k gold, and you're equating to almost 2 orbs every time you do this, and that's 3 times a week. So that's really, really big in terms of just adding more uptick and gold to your everyday balance. But as well, personally, and this is why I like making these videos as well, is that I always hoard up these gold orbs. And now that we know for sure that they're not doing any events in the future and tied back to this, I generally like to save at least 100 and then open them up, and then that's going to add another uptick to my account. So I've been busy and heavily spending gold on building up the Secret Defenders as well as my Dark Dimension 6 characters, so any uptick in gold is going to help. But this is a practice that I've been doing for the last 3-4 years in my account, guys. So I typically never open gold orbs until I hit at least a bare minimum of 100, and I found that, you know, that's been absolutely huge just to add that uptick and it's really been significant for my account. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But I'm hoping to share this practice with you, because you'd be surprised having this extra reserve of gold and then opening it from a time to time matter. I think the last time I did a video like this was a month or two ago, so it doesn't even take that long to build up this arsenal of gold orbs. You just have to make sure you're farming those campaign nodes I showed you earlier, and then you reap the rewards a month later or two when you do have those 100 orbs and taking advantage of it, right? So that's what we're gonna be doing today, guys. Our average that we've seen typically with these gold orbs is about 1.5 to 1.75 per 10. And usually we can end up with a 1 million gold drop. That's absolutely huge for us. So I would expect my gold balance to be around 45 to 50 million, or closest to that, after we're done opening these. So let's see how accurate it is today, if the drops and so forth have been better. So let's get this party started. Doesn't look like that great with all the purples. 1.86, so that's about our average that we noticed. But really, where you get the sizable uptick is when you can land those 1 million drops on the corners. That's a higher than average one, 2 million. That's nice. But yeah, you can just see how that fares, right? So when you do get that gold one, it can add up to 3 million. But also the most common is usually a 1 to 2 million drop. So just something to be mindful of. And just like that, you can see that uptick, the 1 million added to the 1.5, boom, 2.5 million right there. So that's really, really big for our account, and just adding more to the balance, right? So already hitting that threshold of 40 million. So this is already looking like a better run than what I'm used to, but let's keep this party going. And obviously having more of those gold drops are big. So 1.6 there, 45 left to go here. So I know it's not like a hack or anything in this game, guys, but really the biggest thing is just managing the gold usage per day, understanding what your needs are, and making sure that you stick with your budget, right? Because if you're doing that, you're controlling what you're spending per day, and that's gonna add up in the long haul here, especially with this game being a marathon, right? All these different game modes and objectives. Unfortunately, we can only end up with the 1 million gold drop on that side, but it is what it is. We were at least close to the target here of 50 million. So uptake is big, and you get to reap the rewards, right? A month later or two, when you do open those orbs, you can see a pretty sizable uptick. I'm back to 50 million again and resuming my goals, which is building up both the secret defenders and characters for my Dark Dimension 6 ongoing run. So hopefully this advice helps you guys. And again, don't forget about those chapters. Farming the additional gold orbs are really big, and when you do exhaust all those resources, keep in mind too, we have the equivalent of that for the training orbs too, in the villains chapter. So if you need more training mats, that's another great resource to set your eyes on as well. So always about managing that and how to farm, but on top of that, making sure that you stick with your budget and your game plan day by day, and then you're going to create a sustainable balance like you see right now with my account. So that's how I've been able to hold up as a free-to-play player, being able to manage strategically, and yeah, honestly, just tracking what I'm doing per day and sticking with the goals, and that's what it's all about. So hope this helps you guys out. Let me know if you are going to practice this as well, or what your thoughts are. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.